President-elect Donald Trump is naming more cabinet picks.
Some of them pretty controversial, including one name that he put forward for Attorney General. Good Day's Robert Moses joins us with the reaction from Capitol Hill. Robert, good morning.
Dan and Tashani, good morning to you. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he will be meeting today with President-elect Donald Trump in Florida. Johnson is poised to hold on to his leadership role with Republicans holding their majority in the House. And in the Republican-controlled Senate, difficult confirmation battles could loom. In his most controversial and provocative cabinet choice to date, President-elect Donald Trump selected Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz as his nominee for Attorney General, the top law enforcement officer in the country. Gaetz resigned his House seat late yesterday. He had been the subject of a House Ethics Committee inquiry into alleged sexual misconduct, among other offenses. The Ethics Committee had reportedly been preparing to vote tomorrow on whether to release a critical report about him. With Gaetz's resignation, it's not clear if that vote will still happen. In 2020, the Justice Department, the very agency he has been tapped to lead, started a probe into alleged sex trafficking. Gaetz denied any wrongdoing, and he was not charged. Republican Congressman Max Miller of Ohio slammed the pick.
It's silly. I believe that the president is probably rewarding him for being such a loyal soldier to the president, but the president is smart enough and his team is smart enough to know that Mr. Gaetz will never get confirmed by the Senate.
The president-elect also nominated former Democratic Congresswoman turned Republican Tulsi Gabbard to be the Director of National Intelligence. Gabbard, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve, served in Iraq. She too could be in for a confirmation fight, given her history of embracing Russian propaganda. As votes from last week's elections continue to be counted, Republicans learned late yesterday that they will keep control of the House. They already knew that they flipped the Senate, where South Dakota's John Thune will serve as the new majority leader after winning a secret ballot yesterday. He takes over for Mitch McConnell, the leader of Senate Republicans since 2007. Yesterday, President-elect Trump visited the White House at President Joe Biden's invitation, a long-standing courtesy that in 2020, then President Trump refused to extend to then President-elect Biden.
Looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
good.
Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome.
And reporters were ushered out of the room without being able to ask any questions. Before that White House meeting, the president-elect met with House Republicans, and he told them, "I suspect I won't be running again." And then he joked, quote, "Unless you say he's so good, we've got to figure something else out." The Constitution only allows a president to serve 2 terms. It would have to be amended for him to run again. Tashani and Dan, back to you.
All right, let's just focus on 2024 before we start talking about 2028. Robert, thank you very much.